Aegon's back causing mass destruction. Guess who's here? The bad boy of Westeros. Oh, you saw the opening tapestry too? Badass, right? Again, it makes me wonder if Helena's the one that's sewing these things together because, well, we don't have Helena anymore. What we do have left over from her, though, are her beautiful tapestries. NWO Hollywood doesn't seem to be doing the best these days. She said it straight up out the Bible. On the 3rd season, Aegon has risen. He pushed the boulder that is Larys Strong over and left his tomb on a fiery dragon. He's the new hotness now, the new religion, if you will. Rhaenyra's actor is killing it here. You can feel her hurt and stress and anxiety. Like, she came in here grabbing her chest, emoting more than we've seen her emote before. She doesn't really do that in front of people either. She usually keeps that private. To see her bursting into a room like that with no composure was really well done. New plan. Covert Black Ops mission with, 2 dragons and a whole army, including an army of angry, screaming wolfmen. What could go wrong? Surely nothing could happen that would make Daemon seem monstrous. Chin up, Rhaenyra. Daemon will make sure there are very little casualties. I love the choice to put this during the morning so you get a nice warm morning glow through this castle like this. And I think we also get that same morning glow in Harrenhal. Nothing looks like this, ever. The fact that it is lets you know that the mood is shifted. Things are different. A fire is licking at her heels, and it even looks like there's a fire outside, even though it's a beautiful, warm sunrise, which also gives me calm before the storm vibes. Sweetie, you got a storm coming. I also love this argument that Baela has with Rhaenyra, because yeah, she needs to hear it. It's time. You're a monster, that's it. You're like, oh, I don't want to be perceived as a... No, you are. You're messed up. You messed up everything with everybody. You've turned everyone against you. Hey, bring up the board. And I absolutely agree with Baela here, so I'm taking a fealty point from Rhaenyra. You pushed everyone away from you, including Corlys, who literally lost everything and has nothing left but his honor. You're not doing anything for his sons. You're treating your daughters-in-law like crap. And yeah, these are your daughters-in-law. It's very interesting that she wants to be like the only woman to rule the 7 kingdoms. Why not put Baela in that place? As my husband's daughter, you are now my new heir. She decided to disinherit Driftmark in order to be on your side. But of course, no, Rhaenyra doesn't care about any of that. She doesn't care about paying back people who have done any favors for her. She doesn't care about making things square. She just cares about herself. And she blankets it in this, I have to do what's right for the realm because my dad told me to protect everybody from what's beyond the wall. She ain't sent out no ravens to the north asking about nothing. All she's been focused on is the desperation to be seen as a leader. I wonder if that Tyler Lannister quote was a quote that came about because of this situation. That's how you lose dragon riders. Another knighting, another verse from the vows. How long are these vows? But Theron's a knight. This is good, and this is good because now he's free, right? He doesn't need this loser anymore. He's done squiring for him, and he's essentially the king in all but name. And everything else. I'm so happy for him in this moment. He's doing that thing I told y'all about. Remember when I said that he does this fake smile that looks like he's trying his best to not smell his surroundings? This is the smile. Look how much it looks like it hurts him to do this. A coronation. Why not? Why shouldn't I have it? Milady, you don't have to go home, but you have to get the hell out of here. Because you're the worst spy master of all time. Everything that's been happening in Tumbleton has been happening in Tumbleton, and you have not known anything about it. You have not even made an attempt to find out. While I disagreed with how the madam treated her, that was also a signal to us, the viewers, that her little bird suppliers dried up. Considering what's happening, I wonder if they were bought, and that because of what's going on, Missandei couldn't pay for information because she had no gold. But they don't mention that. They just mention that she's dressed and fly as hell. And look at her room, it's really nicely furnished. She's taking all her stuff. Queen's sending her away with money and servants. So the money is coming from somewhere. Maybe Rhaenyra did what Alicent did and sold some jewelry. Aemon's aight. He's got a witch that somehow lived for 100 years to be able to take care of him. We get Alice's full reveal. She might be lying to manipulate him more because that's her weapons in this game. Manipulation and Aemon himself. Hearing her story and figuring he got nothing to lose, he was like, yo, you know what? I can be your goth Tritz girl. And also, who knows what he's drinking? It could be turning him into the zombie Dritz for dreams. We don't know yet. Nor do we know where Vhagar is. I think Vhagar now, at this point, is being kept away from here. Something Alice is doing is scaring Vhagar away. Because Alice doesn't want Aemon to leave. This place is so pretty during the morning. Also, we're one step closer to Jack and Sally Zombie King hype. That's my Clegane Bowl. Aemond as the Zombie King riding on Vhagar that's being warged by Alice. Let's go. Rhaenyra, you gotta stop taking people's arts and crafts out of their hands while they're talking. Helena's had that happen to her one too many times. Poor Helena, man. This is her family that's treating her like this. Her older sister. Her whole job is supposed to be to keep her safe. Especially now that you sent her mom to who knows where, and who knows if she's gonna come back alive. She's already not eating. She's already fragile, and you just keep pushing. And Rhaenyra is all, hey Helena, if you don't eat and keep that living hostage alive for me, I'm gonna be real pissed. I'm just gonna be real mad. You have to do stuff for me. You, I don't care about you. You only get an hour in the Godswood. You have to stay in this room that you don't like for reasons we'll talk about later. I won't let you see your other daughter, who knows if she's still alive. I want to kill the rest of our siblings. I'm gonna take your arts and crafts out of your hands now while you're working on it, which keeps happening to you. And I know you hate when it happens, and I'm gonna have to do it anyway because the only person that I care about in this room and ever is me. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take another fealty point away from Rhaenyra. I love that they bring up the fact that kinslaying is a serious offense again in this episode, because that's all Rhaenyra wants to do. How do you intend to fix your perception when all you do is ruin it? One more fealty point removed from Rhaenyra. Hey bro, how's it feel being a sellout? It's funny because Baela and Adam have similar principles, whereas Alan is like, nah, my favorite thing to do is follow orders. He claimed the men of Driftmark, and I was thinking to myself, hey bro, why don't you just grow out your hair? Now's the time to stop being bald so they can actually go, oh yeah. So they can go, oh, white hair, he must be Corlys' son, duh. But no, or grow a beard. Oh, human shields. Human child shields. Good stuff, Ormond. If you were trying to win the war of popularity, I think the child shield kind of took that away, no? And he thinks he's winning the optics war somehow. I really held out hope that the horse meant freedom and not death. I was also hoping for some Dreamfire revenge. Hey Helena, did you know that all was lost and as soon as your child is brought into this world, it's just going to be used as a pawn? As you are. What was your goal with this? What were you trying to do? What were you trying to accomplish here? She's saying all that and she gets to leave. She's being escorted to her freedom. What an asshole. Here it is, y'all. The shot of the episode. I love this shot. Ormond looking for Ulf. Meanwhile, Caraxes is literally right above his head. Daemon's being a good boy. He could have burninated this dude here and now. But he said no. She wanted me to do a covert Wetworks mission. Stealth style. Only hurt Ormond. I love this Winter Wolf, dude. I love the way he intimidates this Hightower kid. I love his design. That his beard doesn't go all the way across because he has a big scar. I love his armor and his big furry cloak. This dude is the coolest. He would have been a fantastic dude to take the black, you know? This is the kind of guy you want protecting you from the White Walkers. But I guess he's like, nah, I want to die now. And I don't want to have to take those men's resources because I'm old as fuck. You know what? I got to give Daeron some fealty points. I actually like his plan of dividing the Seven Kingdoms back up. Because hey, at least the realm will be at peace. A lot less people would die. Amen! Guess who's back causing mass destruction? Sunfire sounds horrible. And he lands horrible. This dragon is in rough ass shape. It makes all the sense in the world that he's here to get Vhagar and his brother. I think the whole threatening him thing was just an act from the beginning. Look, I need firepower. My dragon is about to keel over for real. I'm sure that Dracarys that took out the Mutants wore this thing out. It must have messed up poor Aemon hearing his brother do the maniacal laugh that he heard in his dreams. Oh my god, you two are engaged? Congratulations! Holler, if you hear me! She looks cool though. She's giving Joan of Arc. But she's also giving King Arthur from Monty Python. So it's both good in that it gives me those fond memories of, oh my god, Monty Python. But then again, it makes me think of the most fuck up of a King Arthur that was ever put on film. So I think that that's done on purpose. I think they're trying to evoke those two things to make you go, yeah, she's in a costume. You know, this ain't her. I would have honestly just wore the armor. I wouldn't have gone with the chainmail. And you can't wear the crown there. You're going for them to put the crown on you. If you're going with the crown on already, that's mighty presumptuous. Rhaenyra just embraced paganism in front of all of her men. How they still follow her now, I do not know. Probably just honor, right? She's the queen. You swore an oath. And Alan is the most oath-keeping dude that there ever was, so he's gonna stab the Pope. That's gonna happen, and it's gonna lose you more fealty points. Not with just me, take away a fealty point, but with everybody. You've lost the game. That's it. Everybody in the Seven Kingdoms at least pretends to follow the old gods or the new. There ain't no room for this other paganism. They barely put up with the old gods. The Pope is dead, so now's the perfect time to ramble incoherently about nonsense. Gather around, everyone. How nobody threw, like, a rock or poop at her, I do not know. I guess they don't know she just murdered the Pope yet. But public opinion has to be like, oh, so the Queen is insane. All this is doing is chasing your people back into Aegon's loving arms. Even your council. Not Alan, though. He loves orders. Orders are delicious. Give him more orders. Man, look at how happy that guy in the front is. The Winter Wolves are the only ones having any fun. Until the scalding oil. But until then, they were having a great time. Door-to-door, covert mission. We're just here for Ormond. I expect a full and open revolt next season. Daemon could have just had Caraxes jump over these kids and over this fence and over the kids on the battlements even. He could have just had Caraxes land him in the middle of the city and then fly away to hook up with the others. He didn't put these kids here though. That was Ormond. Everybody sucks here. Everybody sucks. They're doing a great job of making you go, man, I think everyone should lose. Sorry, Aemond. Gotta take away that fealty point. This is something my husband brought up, but if you wanted this wagon to block this door, you wouldn't have the wheels facing that direction. You know, the direction that makes it easy for it to be pushed away if in fact these doors were pushed open. Ulf sucks too. I know he just wants time with the lads, but at the same time, what an idiot this guy is. Every time he gets 2 steps ahead in the game, he goes 2 steps back. I was starting to go, alright Ulf, I'm picking up what you're putting down. Daemon treats you like crap. Rhaenyra treats you like crap. Screw them. You gave Ormond the reason to treat you like crap, and he's the only other side you got. I guess he can go link up with Aegon. But is Aegon gonna trust this dude, or just go fuck it? And then how long does it take for a dragon to then want to take another rider after their previous riders died? Some people are just dumb, I don't know what to tell you. And there's Hugh. Is nobody where they're supposed to be? He's about to get reamed out by Daemon, isn't he? Prediction for season 4 already. Aemon's gonna ream him out, and then I think all the dragon riders are gonna band together against Rhaenyra and Daemon and everybody else. Like, they're just gonna go, you know what? No, we're not following any other kings. We're done with this shit. It'd be super cool if they just kind of become a gang that takes over Dragonstone. That'd be sick as hell. But because that would be cool and awesome, it's not gonna happen. Ulf would be best friends with Aegon. Like, they're the same kind of dude. I can see Ulf and Aegon hanging out. I can see all the other dragon riders that have been sticking together. And Rhaenyra's dragon's practically dead, and Daemon can't stand alone. All this kerfuffle in this town was missing was Sheepstealer. But I fully expect Sheepstealer to go ham and just start attacking the castle. Which is probably going to be it for Sheepstealer, but, you know, he went out like a champ, I guess. But he'll go out like a champ, I guess. Finally, The Rock has come back to Tumbleton. Well, he was back for a while. He brought back Corlys. Daemon versus The Rock. This fight was actually pretty badass and cool. I thought all the battles in this show were awesome. I love the siege warfare. I love the individual battles. I love that one scene where the Winter Wolf gathered everybody together, like me on a big Call of Duty map with the boys, to kind of regroup and go, all right, we're going to go around and do this. Over comms, you know? Not on comms, over Discord. You don't want to be making your plots in a public lobby. I love the drama and the cinematography. I just think everybody's a stupid jerk, and that's sometimes not bad. It definitely makes for an interesting show, that's for sure. This dude had the single funniest story the whole episode. This guy had the worst day of any messenger of all time. His story was so funny and so tragic at the same time. It definitely scrambles your emotions and makes you feel 2 separate emotions at once. I'm so happy my Winter Wolf got to go out like a goddamn G! Let's go! Dragonfire! And Ormond got what he deserved too. But yeah, Ulf is a man on his own now. I fully expect him to team up with Aegon and they can go drinking at the pub together. I don't like either of them, but they have the best chance at winning anything. Man, this pissed me off so bad when I first saw it. I was totally expecting another Jaime Cersei moment where they're like, yeah, fuck it, Matt Smith's dead, rocks fall, everybody dies. Like, no, that is not satisfying. That is not fulfilling. That would have probably been it for me, even though I enjoyed the rest of the episode so far. But luckily, he's fine. This is obviously not a successful Wet Works door-to-door mission. It'd be really funny if Rhaenyra's dead when they get back. And then the rest of the episode, and the rest of the first episode is replaying how that happened. The war never changes. This looks like a Revolutionary War painting. Everything's horrific all the time. There's no glory in this, and I'm sure that Gawain Hightower is gonna just go, you know what? I'm a pacifist for the rest of my life after seeing this much death and destruction. Hey, -5 fealty points for Rhaenyra. God, even this shot of this window turns my stomach. It immediately evokes Tommen, and I'm sure that's what Helena was trying to do too. She could see the future, and I'm sure she knew what happened here, and I'm sure that's why she didn't want to stay in this room. She saw Tommen and was like, "Yeah, that's a great idea, actually." Will Rhaenyra feel any remorse about this? I think the only remorse Rhaenyra has is when she gets a look at the tapestry that Helena was working on. I think that's the first time she has any self-awareness. Oh, and the butterflies, dude. Also, Allison, you came here with like a small company? I mean, that makes sense, but it's risky knowing that exists. This entire operation is risky knowing that there's people headed down to King's Landing. The butterflies messed me up, man. Yeah, Rhaenyra, that's you. She kept taking her arts and crafts, but she never actually looked at it. Helena knew her sister didn't give a shit about her hobbies. Poor Helena. I wonder if this is also a sign that she's gonna go out like her dad did. She did get pricked by the Iron Throne. You think she has the Iron Throne disease that he had? What a rough way to end this episode. Man, considering what happened, it's really hard to be silly. Rhaenyra lost totally, right? That's it. Game over. This is it for her. We're gonna come back to season. My prediction for season one, my prediction for episode one of next season, is that either Rhaenyra's gonna be dead, or or there's gonna be just open rebellion in the streets, right? You've reached a point in time in the timeline where the Targaryens absolutely should not come back from this. All of them should be dispatched. I think people are gonna be desperate for Aegon to come back, and I think he will be the winner of this all, just because he didn't do as poorly as his sister. Helena did dream about winter. It'd be wild if like Rhaenyra woke up the next morning and everything was blanketed in snow and it's White Walker time. Because that's just what she needs. I can see that happening actually in the middle of season 4. At the beginning, I think we're gonna have a who done it because Rhaenyra is now dead, or we're gonna have anarchy, one or the other. Your winner, King Aegon. No, not that one. No, not that one. No, yes, they're in that timeline, but not that one. Yes, that one. Fantastic season finale, although it left me sad as hell. I gotta give this episode an A. I am desperate to know how they write themselves out of all these corners, though. I will see you guys next season for more House of the Dragon. And I will also see you for the next A Song of Ice and Fire thing that happens, because I'm in too deep now. And I'll see you guys next week for Green Lantern.